months ago, I think I stood here and Rob invited me. So I think again, I have the pleasure of working in Sheffield. Sheffield, for me, is a fantastic city, but before the Streets Ahead project went live, it was known as the pothole city of England. My slides are as bad as others, and the videos, thankfully, I don't have. So there were a number of bullet points here. I'm responsible here for all of the assets on the highway, from fence to fence. So on here you can see all the assets that are listed. So I'm responsible for maintaining the asset management, maintaining an inventory that's accurate at all times, making sure that our gully systems are fully functional, the highway is no longer littered with potholes and refurbished accordingly, but also that our streets are clean, the grass is cut, our trees are well maintained, and all the other assets. And within Amey, this contract is for 25 years with Sheffield City Council. We're into year 7 now. It's a £2 billion contract. And like Andy's responsible for street scene and whole. I'm responsible for everything you can see on the highway of Sheffield and the associated risks of making sure that flows and delivers all our values that we have in whole. Sorry, it's Sheffield. I'm getting confused now. So in the first 5 years, we did have a core investment period. Phenomenal amounts of works were completed in that period. You can see there from the stats there, 135 traffic signal sites were refurbished. We've now got greater volumes of traffic going through Sheffield, but 2% quicker. No other city can state that at the moment. We've replaced 4,000 gullies, but we maintain 77,000 gullies across the city to make sure there is no flooding, to make sure that our commuters and visitors and residents of Sheffield aren't impacted upon when we get the adverse weather that we see today. Nearly 1,500 miles of roads have been resurfaced and footways. 1,500, 700 are carriageways. These are phenomenal numbers that we achieved in the first 5 years of the contract. All of it led by data. Where were the worst roads? Get the worst roads fixed first. So it's extremely important to us, data going forward, and particularly as we now enter the life cycle phase. And 55,000 lamps, street lights have been replaced. That's now got a system in Sheffield that the council can generate savings from through dimming and trimming of the lighting. So after midnight, we're turning the lights down by a few %, creating significant savings for the authority. But we had a real challenge. There's a few bits missing on my slide. Rob, I think you got the gremlins for me too. We had a real challenge at the start of this contract. We focused an awful lot of data around carriageways and footways and the actual infrastructure around structures. But what about routine maintenance as well was the other challenge that we had. It will come, I think, some of these words. So we worked initially with the University of Sheffield to look at how we can use sensor technology and litter bins to ensure our streets were clean. I think Sheffield's got the cleanest city in the country and want to maintain it. So we're looking at putting sensors in our bins and our gullies and the rest of our infrastructure to ensure that we deliver a service that's on demand, fit for purpose and efficient. But also, can we deliver savings to the authority as well in Sheffield City Council? So in 2016, we actually worked with 2 companies. We installed 150 sensors across the city and looked at fill levels within bins, looked at behaviours of bins, seasonal impact, and the weather as well. So we could drive an intelligent service and on-demand service as well. And all the words seem to be missing today from my slides. But through all this data that we can gather, not only are we delivering on-demand for our carriageways and predicting models for when carriageway treatments are done, we're also now looking at how we impact upon weather. And there we go, some words do appear eventually. I was never the IT geek. Thankfully, I have some fantastic people in our Smart Cities team, which is Mark down there, and others who can keep us on the right footing. But you can see there, we're looking to minimise congestion, provide real-time data to ensure we're sending our guys out at the right time to empty bins, also to fill grip bins, to the modelling of our carriageways and our footways to help us, but building on a network with Connexin, that over the next few years we can keep building on this system, on the data that we drive out to ensure we engage with the citizens and residents of Sheffield to really drive improvements in behavioural change. Obviously, we talked about water, but also for us, it's about how we keep the city clean, drive efficiencies through the lack of litter on our streets by providing empty bins and receptacles for people to put the litter in the first place. Look at that. This time it worked on the final one. So through Connexin and through its partners, we're looking at now a rollout commencing this month, really. I think our first 25 litter bin centres will be installed this month, going up to 2,000 by the early part of next year in our litter bins, so that our guys go to a litter bin when it's full, not when it's empty, to drive those efficiencies through. And then we're looking at our grit bins to ensure in the remote areas where we have grit bins that there is grit in those bins when people need it. It's no good when you're stuck on the hillside and suddenly you can't move your car. We do grit 50% of the network, but Sheffield is a very rural city as well. And we're looking at our gullies, optimising when we go and empty the gullies to ensure we don't have water running off the highway and flooding private properties, or surface water on the road, which is dangerous for us as when we're driving. So we want a drainage system that is fully functional, and through monitoring and through the data that we capture, we believe we're going to do that. One of the other areas that we're looking after is, as well, is obviously the trees of Sheffield. And to ensure we optimise the watering of those trees and fully get those trees established very early, we're going to put moisture sensors in our grass verges to monitor and optimise when we water those trees to ensure they are watered at the appropriate time. And once we've got the platform, and through this partnership with Connexin, what else can we do? What else can we drive next? For the authority, there's opportunities to expand this network into parks, countryside, and various other parts of the authority. But also, what else can we do with data to make sure our highways are maintained as the best in the country, which I believe Sheffield has now? And at that, I'm going to hand back over to Rob, and hopefully he's got a few videos that, you never know, might actually work. Thank you.